Hi everyone, this is Aga from EurekaCrystalBeads.com and I'm here with a super fun beading tutorial for you. But before I get started, just a quick reminder to check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our content. In this video, we're making this bracelet, which I made with the beads and supplies from our May 2025 collection, called the Featherlight Dance Collection. Look at this inspiration photo that's included with the collection. So many colors, so beautiful, so vibrant, and I think perfect for May or any other season of the year, if you think about it. All of the beads that I'm going to be using today are in the collection, as well as some of the findings. So let me just quickly go through all of the supplies, starting with the findings. So in the collection, you get this lovely gold-plated clasp from our GleamCraft Eureka exclusive brand, and it's beautiful, it's lovely, and it would match, but I do have different plans for it. So for this bracelet today, or the sample today, I'm going to be using a different GleamCraft clasp. It's also a toggle clasp, and it's this lovely star shape, which I think matches pretty well with the bracelet itself. I also prepared some extra jump rings that are not in the collection, so you gotta have those if you want to use a toggle clasp, because it's always good to add some more jump rings for the bar to go through the loop more easily. Anyhow, one more finding that we're going to be using today are these cymbal findings. They're gold plated and they're super tiny but super useful. We're going to attach them at the end of the bracelet because they were made especially to go with GemDuos and to add that nice seamless loop for you to be able to attach a clasp or an earring finding. So you just include them. They have a little hole right there, just like half a GemDuo, basically like the bottom half of a GemDuo, and they really make the entire finish seamless. I really love that. So for this bracelet, I'm going to use 2 of them. In the collection, you get 6. Then we're gonna be using some GemDuos. These are regular size GemDuos, and these are mini GemDuos that we're also going to be using here on the sides. An important part of this bracelet are also these O beads. I really love them. They look so nice, just wedged in between some other beads. They really do the job. And if you don't need a full-sized bead, these kind of flattened shaped beads really do very well. Then we're gonna need some 3mm Firepolish and some Miyuki 11-ounce. Now for the tools, you're gonna need something to snip your thread. Here I have my thread cutters. Today I'll be using a size 10 needle, so a thick one. You don't have any 15-0s in here, so you shouldn't have any problems going through the beads. And I'll be using that with my 6-pound Fireline in the color Crystal. And if you want to use some jump rings, and you're gonna want to use some jump rings because this loop is closed, you're also going to need some pliers to open and close those jump rings. So let's start beading. Alright, so for this one, you're gonna want to use as much thread as you feel comfortable beading with, which for me is a full wingspan. I hate adding on new thread, and with this bracelet, if you use a long enough piece and don't cut it off the spool, you can always go back to the tail thread and continue on that side. So that's what I did for this bracelet, and now I'm only going to be making a little sample, so I'm not gonna use that much. And here is how you start. You can start with a stopper bead if you feel more comfortable doing that. I'm not going to start with a stopper bead. Instead, I'm gonna pick up 2 regular size GemDuos and my finding. So I'm gonna go through the top holes. If you look on the convex side, through the hole in the finding and through the hole of the other GemDuo. So this is what you get. For this one, it's really useful to lay all of the beads down, at least for the middle part that we're going to be doing now with all of the duo beads. All right, and this is where my thread is coming out of. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up a single 11-0, and I'm going to go right back the way I came in to kind of block this entire sequence just like this. This is where you're at. Now that's why I didn't want to use a stopper bead, because I would run right into it over here. Meanwhile, what I can do is add another 11-0 and block the sequence on this side as well. You don't need to go through those beads any more times, because we are going to go through them when we add the outer part with the seed beads later on. Alright, now I'm just going to go through this 11-0 and the first of the duos again. So this first one, so I'm not going through all of this sequence again, just through the 11-0 and through that first duo. I'm putting the thread behind my work because otherwise it might come just a little bit on top when you're passing through the free hole of the GemDuo. So I hold my thread behind my work to step down the free hole and be able to continue my work. And then when I pull it together, the thread is kind of a little bit on the back here, because I just don't want it to be visible, to be too visible from the front. And now what we're going to be doing, let me just maybe lay down the beads for you. So here's the beads. We're going to make a circle and go right back this other bead that we just added as the first one. And I'm going to go through these inner holes of these mini GemDuos. So one mini GemDuo, then I'm going to add an O bead, then another mini GemDuo, then through the top hole of this GemDuo here, bottom hole of this GemDuo here, or the other way around, depending on how you're looking at it. Then this hole of the next GemDuo, then the mini GemDuo, O bead, mini GemDuo, like this. And I'm going to go back around this GemDuo, the free hole of the GemDuo that we already have. And finally, I'm going to flip this GemDuo over because it's probably going to flip. And I'm going to go through its one free hole and go out right where I'm at now. So this is how I'm going to pick them up. This GemDuo first, then my O bead, then my other GemDuo here, then this hole of the first of the two GemDuos there, this hole of that GemDuo, then this one, then these two, like that, O bead, and the second one. It's important here because they do have a front and a back, so the back is flat and the front is a little bit convex. So you do want to keep them facing the same direction. Now I'm going to pass through the free hole of this first GemDuo that I added, pull it all together. And if you flip all of the duos right, this is what you get. Now you need to attach that middle GemDuo here. So I pass through the free hole and then through the original hole of the GemDuo that I was coming out of when I started. And voila, at some point as you make the bracelet, it's just going to become quite obvious as you do it. Now I want to go through these two GemDuos and the O bead once more. Don't worry, it's going to be a little bit loose. It's going to get a little bit loose now. As you pass through them, you can tighten it all up while holding it. Coming out of that second mini GemDuo. Now I'm going to go through the first of the two bottom GemDuos. Pass through and tighten it all up. Now I'm going to direct my thread to the back here. I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to step down this other hole of the GemDuo. Now when I pull it tight, the thread is somewhat on the back. You can always go to the back and correct it if it flips to the front. And that's how you do it. Now let me lay out the beads again so that I can show you again how to do that, because now you just repeat that for the length of your bracelet. Alright, so here it is again. On each side you add two mini GemDuos. and you add 3 regular GemDuos each time. So you just pass through this bottom hole of the mini, then the O bead, then the second mini, then this hole of the pair of the GemDuos next, the other hole of the middle one, and back to the same one in the third. Now these 2 GemDuos with the O bead between them. At this point you can make sure that everything is tight. You go right back around the second GemDuo in the pair. Then you kind of have to flip the middle one and the ones on the side so that they are facing the same way. And now through the free hole of the middle one and back through the hole that we were originally exiting. Now again, through that sequence of Mini GemDuo, O bead, Mini GemDuo, through the first of the 2 GemDuos in the pair at the bottom. I'm going to hold my thread in the back and step down through the second hole. Pull it tight. It's a good idea to pull tight at every step of the way, by the way. It's not going to make your work tight, it's just going to prevent it getting very loose. Another sequence. Back through that first GemDuo, the free hole of it. Flipping over my loose GemDuo in the middle. And passing through it and the original GemDuo that I was going out of. And back down to repeat the same sequence. Now when you reach the length that you want, and remember to reserve some space for the clasp as well, and for how loose or how tight you want your bracelet to be, and you're in the spot where you would normally add another sequence, but you want to finish your bracelet, you do just the same thing as you would if you were just starting. So I'm just picking up a single 11-0 and I'm going right back through that same GemDuo that my thread was coming out of. Now I'm going to add my lovely cymbal finding, and it also has a front and a back, the back being more flat, so make sure you're adding it the correct way. And I'm going to pass through the second GemDuo. Love how that just pops in. Another 11-0. And I'm going to go right back, all the way back, making sure it's nice and tight. Now I'm going to go through that 11-0 that I have here, and you can go back and forth one more time just to make it nice and tight and secure. And once you do that, we can go on to add the nice side of our bracelet with the seed beads and the 3mm fire polish. Right, I reorganized my space a little bit with this handy triangle tray. I really love them for organization. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s. Then I'm going to straight through that GemDuo that I have that's closest. Now I'm going to add 2 more 11-0s. And I'm going to go right back around and through that last of the 11-0s and the GemDuo. So I'm making a circle kind of above that GemDuo here, so that they create this sort of a little triangle on top here. That's just the way I found matches the rest of the bracelet, but you could just skip this altogether and that will be fine as well if you don't like that pointy little thing at the end. Well, anyhow, now we're gonna go up one of the 11 O's that are on the other side of the GemDuo. So we're gonna go up one of the three on top of it. You're gonna add your 3mm Firepolish and another 11 O. And you're gonna pass through the second hole in the next Mini GemDuo. So you're adding the 3mm Firepolish sort of above the ring bead here. Now when you have two GemDuos meet and you want to connect them, so you're going to be adding something above the GemDuos that are here, so not above the O bead, but above a GemDuo. You're just going to pick up a single 11O and connect these GemDuos. So I'm just passing through the next one in here. Now is the fun part because we don't want to just, pass through and make it all loose. So we want to add a nice little twist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 11Os. And I'm going to go back again. And I'm going to go through that 11O that I added with the 3mm Firepolish. And I'm passing through it from the side where it connects to the Firepolish, so that when I pass through it, I can easily pass through the next GemDuo, Mini GemDuo, sorry, as well. So that's what I do, and that's what you end up with. Now I'm gonna go through that 11O that I added between the Mini GemDuos and the next Mini GemDuo here. And I'm actually going to pass through the two first ones again. This is to reinforce this kind of. And now I'm going to add a single 11O on top here. Passing through the third one that I added. And then through the 11O and the Mini GemDuo again. So that when I pull tight, this just pops in and creates this lovely pointy end. And everything is going to be nice and sturdy because of that. And this is what's going to add this lovely texture to the entire bracelet. So now I'm going through the 11O that connects the Mini GemDuos and the GemDuo. Now I'm going to pass through the first of the 11Os that are on top here. And straight off the bat, I'm going to pick up a 3mm Firepolish and an 11O. And I'm going to go through the next Mini GemDuo in the line. Just like that. I'm going to add an 11O in between these two GemDuos that meet. And now we're going to make this kind of two rounds around there by first picking up 3 11Os, passing through that 11O that connects to the 3mm Firepolish and the Mini GemDuo. Now through the 11O that connects them GemDuos and that next GemDuo. And one more round to add this pointy bit. If you just go once and add 4 11Os instead of 3, it's not going to look as nice. So that's why I'm going twice, because I really want it to look nice. And I'm adding that one 11O on top to make it pointy. Now through the 11O, that's connecting the Firepolish to the Mini GemDuo. Now through the 11O and the next Mini GemDuo. Through the first of the 11Os here. And I'm going to add on my Firepolish and a single 11O through the next Mini GemDuo, and in general you get the gist. 11O between the Mini GemDuos, 3 11Os, around and back through the 11O Mini GemDuo, 11-0 Mini GemDuo. Back up through 2. Add 1 more. Down through the remaining of 3. And through the 11-0 GemDuo, 11-0 GemDuo. Up through the first of the 11-0s. And so on and so forth. Now when you reach the end of your bracelet, just like I am now, don't forget that there's nothing to connect this Mini GemDuo to, and in here we just added like this little bit. So I already have this 11-0 that connects the Mini GemDuo to the 3mm Firepolish, so I just need to add 2 for now. So I pick up 2 11-0s, and I go around just like I would through the 11-0 and the Mini GemDuo, just like that. Now I'm gonna go through the first of the 3 in this little triangle that has created. Make sure that it's nice and tight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 more, and I'm gonna pass through the 11-0 that I used to block this row in here. I'm gonna go to the other side, or if you run out of thread at this point, this is exactly where you can use your tail thread because it's just in the right spot to do that. But if you still have some thread, you just pass through the GemDuos and the symbol finding in this row. You pass through that 11-0 on this side, and you continue just like where you started adding this layer, this row. So I would pick up 2 11-0s through the Mini GemDuo, now 2 more, back around through one of the 11-0s, again, just gonna put this in a triangle on top, back up through the first one after that Mini GemDuo. Now you know how it goes, 3mm Firepolish, 11-0, down through the Mini GemDuo, then I'm gonna connect the Mini GemDuos with an 11-0, make 2 rounds to make a pointy bit, and so on and so forth. So this is how you make this bracelet. By the way, wouldn't this make an interesting earring? I could attach some charm down here and add an earring finding over here, and that would just hang down. I don't know, let me know what you think of this idea. If this could be an earring, or would it be too much? Would it be too much of a statement earring? Now, in the meantime, let's finish off this bracelet. Alright, so I've got my pliers, I've got my bracelet, and I have my findings. I already took apart the toggle clasp because sometimes they come connected like this with one jump ring. So I took that apart, and let's start assembling. So I'm going to first add the loop part. So I have my open ring. I just put it on the loop in the symbol finding. And then I just add the toggle clasp. Close it up. Remember to make sure it's fully closed. And then the other side. And this is the bracelet. Isn't it lovely? I really love how all of those finishes are really basically the same with those GemDuos, Mini GemDuos, the O beads, and the Firepolish, and the gold that's so shiny kind of frames all of it so well. I really like how it turned out, and it's so nice and flowy. And once you learn how to do the first part and then the second part, it's super easy to make once you get the gist of it and you keep going for any length that you want. As I mentioned, all of the beads that I use here today are from our May 2025 collection, which is the Featherlight Dance Collection. You will find a link to the collection as well as to all of the supplies for this bracelet in the description down below, as well as all of the links to our socials into our Facebook group where you can share your beading and you can ask any questions you want because I'm in that group as well. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!